There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Liz. We have a great show for you guys today, and I just want to thank everybody who was here yesterday on Good Morning Vail. We had some great guests. We had Katie and Greg from the Eagle County Paramedics talking about the great event coming up, 911 over at Edwards Fieldhouse. That's going to be incredible. It's going to be from 8 until 4, and kids get to learn all kinds of CPR and really great things for life-saving events and just to get together and learn a lot. So it's going to be a lot of fun and adventure for the kids. I also want to thank Primal J and the Neanderthals for playing live 2 of their original songs here yesterday. They were great. Don't miss Battle of the Bands coming up on Wednesday to see 4 great bands battle it out to see who's the best. Now we have a lot of great things, but who is excited about the GoPro Mountain Games? I know I am. I cannot wait. It's all starting off on the 8th of this month, going through the 11th. One packed out weekend with so many great, amazing things. We're going to have climbing and biking, and we're going to have adventure sports, art, music, kayaking, so many great things. And one of the best things that they're going to have for the 3 days are doggo adoptions. So if you're looking for a special pet to add to your beautiful family, well, that might be the time to go check them out. It's all through the Eagle County Animal Services. They are just an amazing organization. They really, really do get almost every dog, kitty, and maybe a lizard or 2 adopted here in our community. So they're wonderful. And there's just so many great things going on for the GoPro Mountain Games, including some of that music. It's all going to get kicked off by the Motet and Chris and Rich Robinson from the Black Crows. We all know that group as well. So it's just going to be a dynamite weekend packed with so many great things. I cannot wait, and I'm sure you guys can't wait either. So that's what's taking place this weekend, and we have a great show filled with lots of great guests. So keep it tuned right here. We are Channel 92. Good Morning Vail.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Hi, it's Maddie from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you" on Channel 92? Because we're always bringing you more Good Morning Vail every day from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More scoreboard updates every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. More Good Day Vail, 2 back-to-back episodes daily at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. More news segments and shows highlighting our local community. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or on our website at tv8vail.com.
Welcome back to your Monday edition of Good Morning Vail on TV8. I'm your host, Liz. We had a great interview with Bill Humbert. Our very own Ben Roof did a great interview with him. A lot of people like to start working at an early age. Well, this is a great way to find out how you can build ethics and teamwork. Let's take a look at this wonderful interview.
Welcome back to the show. We are speaking to Bill Humbert, a well-known recruiter who is going to give us some advice on how to begin our careers if we were younger, and a little bit more on how to try and encourage youth employment and the advantages that that can provide for us. So welcome here. Welcome, Bill Humbert.
Hey, Ben, thanks. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you. So you're talking a little bit about how to encourage youth employment, and is there anything that you have personally that experienced to set you off on your path?
I do. You know, you talked earlier about working at 10, I think. I think I beat you by a year. I got my first Washington Daily News paper route at age 9, and that was a business because they would deliver the papers to me, and then at the end of the month, they'd send me a bill, and then I'd have to collect from all of my customers and then send them what I owed them, and the balance was for me. So at age 10, I started a Washington Post paper route, and that paper route was really fun. I was making $140 a month, quite a bit of that on tips, because I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning as a 10-year-old and delivering papers to all of my customers. It was over 100 of them, and getting them out before they had their first coffee. Excuse me. And I made $140 a month, which today is, excuse me, the equivalent of $1,500 per month.
That's pretty incredible. And as I know that as when I was working as a kid, it was definitely nice to have a little bit of that of my own money. But more importantly, it helped me with the skills of talking about money and really trying to help manage that. Is that something that you found?
Absolutely. You know, a lot of my money that I made, I put right into savings. So at age 12, I went to my dad and I said, you know, the public school system wants to put me into shop class. I'm smarter than that. They don't take into account my getting up early in the morning and delivering papers and collecting for them at night. And I said, so I applied to DeMatha Catholic High School in Hyattsville, Maryland, and I was accepted after taking the test, and they put me in the top college prep class. And my dad said, I can't afford to send you to private school. I said, no problem. I'm making $400 or $140 a month. DeMatha costs $450 for the year. I got it covered. So I paid my way through high school, through the high school I wanted to go, with the money that I made from my paper route.
That's pretty fantastic. And so why did you choose that school in particular? Was it because of that college prep opportunity, or was there some other particular reason?
Well, you know, of course, you have friends that are bragging about where they're going to go to high school and stuff like that. But at the same time, instead of being in shop class, I'd be in college prep. And I knew I was smart enough to be in college prep. So I wanted to be at the place that would put me in college prep.
Totally. So when we're starting out our careers as young adults, what is something that can really help us with? I know that there's that constant refrain in the United States of, like, you know, many millionaires and billionaires started working really young, even started at McDonald's. Is there anything that you might recommend for kids to really look for when they're trying to get that first job, when they're really starting out on their first career?
Well, the important thing about first jobs is just to start working and learn what it is that you like doing in the workplace, and also what it is you do not like doing. You know, I did some research before we had our interview, and I thought, I wonder how many millionaires got their start at McDonald's. It's amazing. There's a list. Jeff Bezos of Amazon, founded Amazon and Blue Origin. and it's worth $94 billion. He's got to start at McDonald's. Rapper Pharrell Williams, model and actress Andy McDowell, singer-songwriter Andy Grammer, TV personality and author Star Jones. You know, if you just go to Google and say, what millionaires worked at McDonald's, they'll tell you. And it's amazing how important those first jobs are, because that's when we develop our work ethic.
Absolutely. It was one of the most important things that I learned when I was very first starting out working, was to not just stand around. Like, if looks like you could help, help. Don't wait for somebody to ask for help or tell you that you need to do something, to constantly be on the lookout for another way to contribute value and to help. What about from the perspective of the employers? Is there any reason that you think that an employer in particular should try and take a risk on somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience in the job market or has never had a real job before?
You know, it's not that big a risk. They're not paying tons of money. Obviously, they're paying more than when I was working back then. But, you know, it's not a huge risk for them. You know, Walmart's constantly hiring and looking for people who are motivated. All of the fast food places are always looking for help. And so those first jobs, the employers know that this person needs to be trained and kind of motivated and, you know, even mentored on, if you're stocking shelves, what to look for and how to bring product out to the front. So once you start learning what's needed, then you're developing a reputation for doing those things. And then that helps build you references for your future for the even better jobs.
Speaking of those references, is that something that you think a lot of those students could be looking for in those first jobs, is a mentorship opportunity and really trying to look to build a mentor relationship with somebody? Or would you recommend just really trying to get a little bit more of a feel for things, and during those spring breaks, take some opportunities to try different jobs and kind of work around? I know that a lot of recruiters say that, you know, you want to try and stay at a place for at least a year, if not two, before moving on to another opportunity. What would you say about that?
It depends on the level you are. If you're a new person, then, you know, maybe not. Maybe it's one of those things where you go and you stay 6 months, a year. You don't need to be there 2 years, but stay there for a little bit of time, enough time to develop the skills that you need to leverage those to your next job. So that's what I would suggest about the early jobs. Now, once you've graduated from college, if you go to college or if you go into trades, stay there for a longer period of time, because there's going to be more to learn.
That totally makes sense. I mean, I know that some jobs, like stocking shelves, for example, that might not be quite as much to learn as some more complicated things like a plumber's assistant. But if we're moving on to how these students can get in touch with potential employers, how would you recommend that employers who are either looking for high school students or high school students who are looking for their first job to kind of help get in touch with each other?
Well, finding an entry-level job is easy. You can go into a shopping center and line up a job like that. Or here in Park City, Utah, you go up Main Street and there's help wanted signs all the way up and down Main Street. So those are, just walk in and say, hey, you know, what, I see you're hiring people. What are you looking for? And if it's something you feel you can do, I mean, it can be a cashier position. It can be stocking shelves. It can be a greeter maybe. So, you know, by the way, greeters need to know where things are. So there's all kinds of opportunities, landscaping, construction. Follow whatever your interest is and see if it is something you want to do long term or not.
Would you have any recommendations for businesses trying to reach out to people entering the job market? And I know that there's a pretty consistent hiring shortage across the West right now. Is there anything that you think that some businesses could do to help encourage new people to enter their workforce?
Well, absolutely. You know, one of the things you want to do, if you keep seeing the same person coming in, say, "Hey, let's get together because it looks like you like our shop, and would you like to work here and get a discount on the things that you're buying?" And they come in more than once a week, they're very interested in whatever it is that business has to offer, fast food or not. Those are the people you want to talk to first. The other thing is, be friendly with people. And then when they come to check out, just say, "Hey, we're looking to hire someone to stock shelves, someone to be a cashier. Who do you know that you would recommend to us to talk to?" And then ask, "Do you have their phone number?" And then give them a call. Recruiting is a sales process.
What about for businesses that aren't quite as active in the community, I guess, is maybe not active, but that don't have quite of a social presence, like a landscaper or a construction company? They don't have a storefront and they don't necessarily have people walking in.
Well, you network. You talk to everybody you know. You talk to your customers. Your customers may even have children that they would like to get motivated and out of the house and into a job just so that they can start learning how to work. So it's a networking process. And as I coach career seekers, many times what I hear from them is, "But I don't know how to network." And I laugh and I say, "You're just being silly now." and they go, "Why do you say that?" And I say, "Because you've been networking since you were 4. Remember when you were 4 years old and a brother or sister or a friend walked by with an ice cream cone? Didn't you say, 'Where'd you get that?'" That's networking.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has friends, and leveraging our friends network is a great way to get out there. One last question I have before I let you out. Do you have any recommendations for a book to any of our, listeners or viewers who might just be trying to start in the job market? Any book that you might recommend that help them get started?
Absolutely, Ben. One of the best books that I've ever read for recruiting primarily professionals, but it applies to everybody, is this book right here, Top Grading, How Leading Companies Win by Hiring, Coaching, and Keeping the Best People. And it's by Dr. Bradford Smart. And in this book, one of the questions he suggests that managers ask employees or candidates, "Did you work in high school?" And if they said yes, then you ask, "What did you do?" And then you ask, "Why did you work in high school?" And if they say, "I found that I could have financial freedom. I could buy the things I wanted with my money instead of having to go to mom and dad. And then as a result of all of that, I learned some financial literacy." That's the right answer. If they said, "Mom and dad made me go to work," that shows a little bit of a lack of motivation.
Well, it totally sounds reasonable to me and a great thing to look for in potential employees. Bill, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Is there any way that people can reach you or get a hold of you if they have further questions?
I'm easy to find. I'm recruiterguy.com. And if you want to talk to me, either from my talent attraction business side of things or from career search or even proper goal setting, I'm at, you can just go to recruiterguy.com and click with Speak with Bill, and that'll put you on my calendar.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate you stopping by. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben. It was nice chatting with you.
Nice talking to you, too. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this segment. We're going to go take a short break, and we will return in just a minute.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you into Rugs Benedict to come explore our 12,000 square foot showroom. We've been serving the Vail Valley for over 50 years now with flooring needs. And we inventory a ton of product from Carpet One to provide the very best values, highest style. We just built a warehouse, 15,000 square foot warehouse in gypsum. So we have over 120 different broadloom carpets. We have a lot of waterproof wood flooring, things that we can install right away. We have employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty. Many of them have been with us for decades and they're true craftsmen in their work. They're absolutely extraordinary at installing any of the flooring that we provide. We also have over 1,000 area rugs in stock right now. And they start at 2x3s. I could bring these into the studio today, but they go all the way up to 12x16s. And we have them hanging on the racks just like shopping for clothing. So it's very easy for you to just flip through, see what's available. We'll deliver them to your house so you can check out how they look in your space with your lighting. All different sizes, all different shapes, some things that are going to be a little bit more contemporary as well as tribal, traditional, all the latest and greatest looks. We have things that are hand knotted, silk, woolen silk options, all the way down to some machine made indoor outdoor type rugs. So really anything that you're looking for your business, for your home, for a rental, Rugs Benedict can provide it. And one thing I consistently hear when people leave our showroom is, that was so easy, thank you so much. So we make the process very easy. Come in, take a look, and we'd love to offer you a free estimate. Look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Time to rise and shine? There's no better way to start your day off than with the Good Morning Vail crew. You asked for more and TV8 delivered. Good Morning Vail is here for you with your local news, sports, weather, and community events every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. No matter the season, we give you a reason to watch, so grab your coffee and join the fun. Live stream us at tv8vail.com or on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. And remember, there's more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. We all know Cece Zach from Good Day Vail. She had an amazing interview with local trailblazer Marka Moser. Let's take a look.
Today's episode is an extraordinary one about a trailblazer, and I'm so grateful to have Marka Moser here with us today. And what I love to do in these interviews, Marka, is to have you tell the viewers, why is Vail home for you? How long have you been here? What keeps you here? And is there anything specific about Vail that just makes it call home?
I first came here in 1965 to ski for a week and fell in love with it at that point. My uncle bought a condo, and from that time on I was living in Boulder, and I could come up every weekend that the condo wasn't rented or my uncle wasn't using it, which was quite frequently. And so I became a weekend local, and then in 1970 had the opportunity of moving up here. I was married to Division of Wildlife officer, and he became the officer for this district. And so I was thrilled to be here. I had 2 daughters, and we were all very excited about being here.
Well, I'm very excited that you made that trek many, many years ago. And I wish I had an uncle like you did that had a place here when I was growing up. So what a great entree into the Vail Valley. Now, you recently received the Vail Trailblazer Award, and I just, congratulations to you. And everything,
Thank you.
Everything I've read and people I've talked to have just said that you are just an extraordinary inspiration for the Vail Valley. And I know that it all starts with passions. So tell us a little bit about your life passions.
Well, I would say environment is a big one for me, and it still remains so, as we need to keep our environment safe to be able to live anywhere. And then family and children. So those are the main things that I sort of focused on while I was here. And as far as the environment, because Vail was a very small community at that time, there was very little in the way of recycling. So we started that. We started cleanup days. And then we had to start fighting the Denver Water Board, who was wanting to take all of the waters from every stream that runs into the Gore Valley. The Denver Water Board owns Piney Lake, and they wanted to dam up Piney Lake and then divert all of that water to Denver.
Oh my goodness,
And
I can't even think. I mean, it's such a beautiful lake too. Just to dam it
Right.
up, it aesthetically would ruin it, much less divert the water.
Well, and I think that probably is no longer a valid concern just because the diversions have become so expensive. But we're still fighting. We've fought for 20 years to keep Homestake 2 from being developed. And we thought we had that one won.
And where is Homestake 2?
Homestake is a valley that is that you reach. It's between Red Cliff and Camp Hale.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful valley, and it has a lot of trailheads that go into the Holy Cross Wilderness area. And that is a Colorado Springs and Aurora diversion project, which we thought was dead in the water because it was so expensive, but now they're trying to get it again. So we're rekindling that fight again.
So when you say we, who is the organization that you're working with to help rekindle this fight?
Well, statewide organizations now are going into this fight. We had our own, it was the Holy Cross Wilderness Defense Fund, and then there was the Eagle Piney Water Protection District, and it was, those were both sort of local entities that were fighting it. Now it's become statewide and almost nationwide.
Okay.
What they've discovered, it's kind of an interesting story, but in the Homestake Valley are fens, which is something relatively newly discovered, but it's a almost a sponge-like wetlands that stores water. It's a natural reservoir underwater. I mean, under the surface of the earth. And it's extremely valuable. It's taken millions of years for them to form, so it's not the kind of wetlands that can just be destroyed and then you create another wetland someplace else to mitigate that. So this is why there's a whole organizations now, including Sierra Club and other national organizations that are helping to fight this one.
So if I could be so bold as to say, is thanks to your contributions many years ago with the different organizations that you mentioned, you have brought it to statewide attention, in which they have found the need to take ownership of it in order to protect from Aurora stealing the water from us today. Is that correct?
Well, yes, sort of. I mean, it was there were several organizations statewide too that were fighting
at the same time.
It was and we were, I became interested in it and became sort of a part of it, and that was along with recycling, cleanup days, and all of those kinds of things. As I said, the environment is very special to me, and one of the things that I was a part of that I feel very, very strongly about is the Eagle River Preserve in Edwards.
Oh, yes.
It's 72 acres of prime, beautiful land. You said you've been down there with your dog.
I have with my dog. It is spectacular. And for our viewers, I just want you to know that Marka was leading the charge in creating a preserve and protecting that.
Well, I followed. There were other people that were sort of leading the charge.
Oh, you're being humble.
But I became part of a citizens group that was reviewing all of this and then helping to raise the funds. Eagle County contributed. It was a $12 million to get the land
The open
into
space, yep.
open space, and it's protected in perpetuity, so it can never be developed.
And as we were preparing, you mentioned that $6 million came from the government, but you had to raise, your citizens had to raise an additional $6 million to match it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, the Vail Valley Foundation was really, took the lead in that, but there were many of us that would go out and solicit funds from just local people, and we were at a lot of farmers markets in the summer. We would have a booth there and explain what we were trying to do, and people would contribute $20, and some would take the information and might send a check for $1,000.
Wow.
But it is something that I feel very, very pleased that we were able to save that. 72 acres that would have been developed.
Wow. And viewers, again, if you've never gone down to the preserve, it's right next to the gas house. It is worth taking a walk with your dog, your family, yourself, meditate, whatever. It is spectacular. So that's one of your passions. You have many passions. And I know you had mentioned your family as another. And so education has been a huge component of your life. Maybe you could briefly just tell us how you got involved with education.
Well, I went back to school. That's why I was living in Boulder, and got my degree in education. So when I came up here, I became very involved in the schools. I had 2 children that were going there, and it was a one-room country school, which is really pretty unique in this day and age. In 1970, to have your children in a one-room country school that was over the what is now. It was part of the hospital, and.
The hospital in Vail.
In Vail,
okay.
But it was
so
very
it was right
small
in the
at
village.
that time.
Yep.
It was right
Yep.
in the village. And so I became involved in that, and was a substitute teacher, and helped. When we had the one-room school, there were 3 teachers that were there, but we didn't have physical education or arts and music, and so we tried to work with local people here that had some of those skills to bring them in to the schools, and so that the kids would have the opportunity to learn games. And I know one father who would take a bunch of the boys down to Minturn, where there was a gymnasium, so that he could teach them basketball skills and things like that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
that's
so
lovely.
it was, and then musicians would come in and sing with the kids and things like that. But it was very, very special.
So on that note, we're going to take a quick station break. And Marka, I just want to thank you. To viewers, Marka is just an extraordinary inspiration for our valley in so many different ways. So please stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. There is more interview with Cece and Marka coming up.
Good morning, Vail.
Do you have a big event that you're going to, or some type of social thing that you might not have the right outfit for? Well, recently I had the chance to sit down with 2 individuals that can share some extraordinary tips on how to ensure that you feel comfortable for that event by wearing what you feel most comfortable in and become a star at the event. So please join us for the fashion episode.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Vail Skin and Lashes, located in the heart of Avon, offers a full array of aesthetic and medical treatments and services. We feature only the highest quality products in an upscale medical-grade skincare boutique. Experience this luxurious, welcoming, and inviting environment. We are dedicated to providing expert personalized care, artistry, wellness, beauty. That's Vail Skin and Lashes Medical Spa.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi friends, Avisha Scarborough here with Vail Vibes. Now, one thing that Colorado has plenty of, besides all the beauty and the scenery, are some pretty cool and creative businesses. I got a chance to speak to some local business owners at the Hythe Hotel in Vail at the Entrepreneur Organization Conference. When you think of a typical business retreat, you might not think of this or this. But during the EO, short for Entrepreneur Organization retreat at the Hythe Hotel in Vail, the theme was camping, complete with pajama parties and mattresses on stage. Part of the ethos of EO is having a little fun with your community to counterbalance the stress of running a business, something its members are all too familiar with. This is Josh Tabin.
The vegan, vegetarian quinoa meal.
He's what you might call a serial entrepreneur, having started 18 businesses in 30 years.
That doesn't mean it's easy, but I don't think anything in life that's worthwhile is easy.
He and his wife Zora founded Wild Zora Foods after taking their home recipes to local farmers markets. And now it can be found everywhere, from King Soopers to REI. He says there's nothing else quite like it.
It's a little bit like a jerky. It's a dehydrated meat and veggie bar. And so we take 100% grass-fed beef and mix it with organic fruits and vegetables, and it makes a little snack that you can eat when you're on the trail. Now, more recently, we've sort of shifted to a new product, which is actually a freeze-dried meal, and this one is made with quinoa. All you do is pour water in, and it rehydrates, and you can eat it directly from the pouch when you're on the trail.
So today I'm hiking, and I worked up an appetite, so I wanted to test out this freeze-dried trail meal for myself.
And knowing the story behind the brand helps you build trust, which happens to be the cornerstone of Dana and Doug Corpenning's corporate gifting business, Wet Paint Group.
It says feel good, do good, pass it on.
Giving gifts that give back is their philosophy.
Everything has a story behind it and a mission of doing good, and we enjoy that.
There's a reason why they're nicknamed Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Giving gifts is what they do best. Here they are at the retreat with a pop-up gifting suite for their fellow EO members.
every hip pack that is sold, a tree is planted.
It's not just boxes on tables, it's actually gifts that represent not only the intention behind the purpose of it, but also the reason why it was gifted. So pay it forward impact either on the environment or population or a certain cause. We've added beautiful Mavis handbags made out of recycled water bottles where they're manufactured in Mexico, and over 300 women, because they're all handmade, their lives have been changed because of companies and because of trailblazers like Mavis Carolina Herrera. We have Topo backpacks right here in Colorado and Topo designs that we love working with. They're a great brand. They're lifetime warranty. Again, give back to the environment and the community.
And community is what it's all about for them. That's what brought them here to Vail for the retreat. Through all the ups and downs of running a business, EO has offered them the support they need.
It's been a change maker. It's been transformative. Not even just for my business on who I am on the outside, but who I'm growing into be on the inside. The confidence, the support, being women in the industry. We have 25% now of the membership are women in Colorado. We have a strong She Power chapter here, and I'm just grateful.
As a business owner, I think a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, you've got it made, you have all the freedom in the world because you're the owner, and then they don't realize that, my God, there are days when you work 18-hour days and basically all you do is work and sleep, and it's hugely stressful, and you have your house on the line, and yeah, it can definitely be stressful, and to be able to share your struggles and challenges and even get help from other people that are either have been through it or going through the same thing is really what EO has provided to me for many years.
And they encourage other Colorado business owners to apply for membership.
I actually can't think of a business owner of a certain size when they have a number of employees and all the challenges that go along with that wouldn't be helped by membership in EO.
And whether it's in business or in life, we can all use some help along the way. That's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Vail Vibes with Avisha because we are just getting started. We have an exciting summer full of events and experiences you don't want to miss out on, and I will keep you updated on all of them. Thank you, and see you next time.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you like to get out there and enjoy the trails on your bike, well, it's really important that you keep your head nice and safe. And so right now, I've got the Giro Manifest Spherical in front of me. Now, this helmet has some fancy new technology. The spherical part is progressive layering with dual density liners to address high and low impact speed. So you can see as I wiggle the top of the helmet, it is fully moving. Now, this helmet also comes equipped with MIPS, which stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System, which keeps your brain just extra safe when you're out there riding. And if you do happen to have one of those accidents, well, then it will help you stay nice and safe. This helmet has a lot of really nice features. It has the wind tunnel ventilation on it, making it so that you stay cool when you're out there enjoying your nice ride. So I'm going to flip this helmet right around to the front so you can see all of those nice wind tunnel vents. Now, another great feature of this helmet is it has a movable visor. That way you can protect yourself from the sun as needed in any direction. Now, another great feature of this helmet is if you're right in between sizes, don't worry, it has an adjustable fit in the back, making it nice and convenient for you to get this helmet on your head to fit any shape. Now, you can check out this helmet at Sun and Ski Sports. Now, they have so many convenient locations, or you can shop online at their website at sunandski.com. That way you can keep yourself nice and safe out there on the trails. We want to thank them so much for bringing you this product of the week. We've got more after this.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day, weekdays.
Hi, it's Maddie from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you" on Channel 92? Because we're always bringing you more Good Morning Vail every day from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More scoreboard updates every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. More Good Day Vail, 2 back-to-back episodes daily at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. More news segments and shows highlighting our local community. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or on our website at tv8vail.com.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for a great way to further your education? Well, then we have the thing for you, and we've got an expert, Hema, joining us to give us some more information about how you can do so. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now let's talk about this fabulous collaboration that's taking place between YouTube and Arizona University.
Yeah, so it's a first of its kind partnership between YouTube, Arizona State University, and Content Creators Crash Course. It's an affordable and accessible on-ramp to college. It allows people to start their college journey right on the platform. They can begin watching course videos on the platform, and once they're ready to transition to the formal course experience, it's $25 to sign up to access the coursework, the assignments, the faculty, and then once they're satisfied with their grade, they can purchase the college credit.
Which is so cool, and especially for those people who maybe are living very busy lives, whether they're athletes or parents or they have a full-time job where it's hard to step away from to go back to school. This is just a great alternative for people to further their education.
That's exactly right. And we've seen learning happen so organically on our platform. Of the 2 billion monthly logged in users, nearly all of them say that they come to the platform to gain knowledge and information. And so our goal with Study Hall is to really help these students transition this intrinsic love of learning into a formal pathway and gain external recognition and external credit for that learning.
Which is something that's so unique, and it gives so many people, and especially those people who like to watch the YouTube videos in their little bit of downtime, that experience, that knowledge, and then of course the opportunity to get a college credit. Now, if people are interested in maybe starting and they haven't gone to college at all, how can they get started with this fabulous program?
Yeah, they can go to the Study Hall YouTube channel today and start looking at all of the content that's there. And so it's not just the course videos. So there are 4 foundational courses that are already live. So that's English composition, college math, US history, and human communication. But there's also additional content that's worth highlighting, and that's our How to College series and our fast guides to electives and majors. And How to College really helps these people navigate the college application process. What is that like? Where do I apply? What schools are a good fit for me? And then for those who have started that journey, how do they stay on it? So it helps really contextualize stuff that's often opaque. And then Fast Guides to Electives and Majors includes information about a dozen of the most popular majors, including classes that learners have to take to complete the major, but also what are the jobs and career prospects that they have once they have completed that major. So it's really the whole package. It's the full offering of what it means to decide to start on this journey.
Which I think is such a unique thing, because I know that there are a lot of people who have just a hard time getting started. And I was scrolling through the website yesterday, and so to have it break down into those little pieces where you can start, they'll go through what you'll expect in the English class, what you'll expect in the psychology class, and they walk you through it, makes it that much more convenient, and that way you have as much information as possible before you start this process.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We're really trying to make it so that students feel that they have agency over their learning and that they can do it in their own time. And they can start today. They can start watching those videos on the YouTube channel right now.
Which is so awesome. Now, if people are interested in signing up, getting all this information, where can they find it?
Yeah, they can go to gostudyhall.com.
And how long have you guys been developing this product to help people further their education?
Yeah, so we as a YouTube learning team, about 4 years ago, were thinking through what is the learning and education landscape, and what are the areas where we're uniquely positioned to address some of the complex areas. And what became abundantly clear is that the complex path to higher education felt like an area that we had a role to play. And so for us, it was this idea that post-secondary education is one of the best drivers of economic and social mobility, and yet this path is full of barriers, and especially the exorbitant cost of a degree has made the dream of going to college unattainable for far too many, for far too long. And so this was our way to really look at like who is doing something really special in the space, and how can we create something really new and bold. And so this partnership between Crash Course, who has understood what it means to take really complex academic subjects and make them visually stunning and accessible and digestible, then ASU, top tier research institution who really understands how to support students, and then of course YouTube, who has this scale and this ability to draw in viewers' innate curiosities and intrinsic love of learning. How do you take this love of learning and build this pathway for them to get credit?
Which I think is so cool that you guys took the time, you focused on this, and you came up with this product that's really going to help people further their education. Now, one more time, if people are interested in getting started with you guys, where can they begin?
GoStudyHall.com.
And then as they're making their way through all of these courses, they have the option to receive a college credit from it.
Yep, and so ASU faculty leads those courses, and once you go through that course, and you're satisfied with your grade, and that's this critical component, it's worth mentioning. There's no transcript needed, there's no application required, there's no GPA threshold. It's really for everyone. So you can get comfortable, watch those videos on YouTube, watch the course videos, sign up for the $25, get access to the faculty and the coursework. And once you're satisfied with your grade, you pay the $400 to get the college credit, and that credit is transferable to any of the U.S. colleges and universities that take ASU credits.
Which is such a unique opportunity, and especially for those people who have not had the chance to go to college. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and thanks for the hard work you do, because bettering people's education is bettering people's lives.
Thank you so much for having me.
Make sure that you check out Study Hall. That way you can further your education, because it's right there. It's all at the tips of your fingers. If you like to watch YouTube videos to further your education, well then this is a great way to do so to get those college credits. We're about to take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
If you haven't seen Good Day Vail lately, here's what you've been missing. I'm Cece Zach, and I'm the host of Good Day Vail, and you can find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92 or on our website at tva-vail.com and on YouTube. We're here to serve the Vail Valley, and we look forward to sharing our story with all of you.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you into Rugs Benedict to come explore our 12,000 square foot showroom. We've been serving the Vail Valley for over 50 years now with flooring needs. And we inventory a ton of product from Carpet One to provide the very best values, highest style. We just built a warehouse, 15,000 square foot warehouse in gypsum. So we have over 120 different broadloom carpets. We have a lot of waterproof wood flooring, things that we can install right away. We have employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty. Many of them have been with us for decades and they're true craftsmen in their work. They're absolutely extraordinary at installing any of the flooring that we provide. We also have over 1,000 area rugs in stock right now. And they start at 2x3s. I could bring these into the studio today, but they go all the way up to 12x16s. And we have them hanging on the racks just like shopping for clothing. So it's very easy for you to just flip through, see what's available. We'll deliver them to your house so you can check out how they look in your space with your lighting. All different sizes, all different shapes, some things that are going to be a little bit more contemporary as well as tribal, traditional, all the latest and greatest looks. We have things that are hand knotted, silk, woolen silk options, all the way down to some machine-made indoor-outdoor type rugs. So really anything that you're looking for your business, for your home, for a rental, Rugs Benedict can provide it. And one thing I consistently hear when people leave our showroom is, that was so easy, thank you so much. So we make the process very easy. Come in, take a look, and we'd love to offer you a free estimate. Look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Well, then make sure you tune in every day at 6:30 and 10:30 p.m. to catch The Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your three favorite mountain towns: Park City, Utah, Vail, Colorado, and Reno, Tahoe. I'll be your host, Maddie Evans, and I can't wait to see you there.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
So many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the second hour of Good Morning Vail on TV8. It's Monday. I'm your host, Liz. We have a great second hour for you guys. I want to remind everybody about something really cool that's taking place starting the 16th of this month, which is a Friday. It is going to be 4 days of healing. What? Does that sound good? Well, it's going to be amazing. It's called B4BC, Blues, Barbecue, and Boobs Benefit. It is for breast cancer awareness, but it's also just a great way for everybody to go, unwind, and just release all of your stress and anxiety and just relax. It's taking place over at State Bridge. It kicks off at 6 p.m. on Friday the 16th. There's going to be a concert, so you really get the outdoors, expectations of pure bliss, the greatest adventures that you have right there at Statebridge, the river, and lots of live music. So if you want to get a nice retreat for healing and to raise money for breast cancer awareness, this is the thing to do. It's BC over at Statebridge, kicking off on Friday the 16th at 6 p.m. Definitely get on over there. You can camp, you can rent a cabin, or you can go for a day's event. It's just going to be a wonderful, magical experience. So I hope to see you guys there. We have a great hour coming up for you guys right here on Good Morning Vail for TV8 on your Monday morning.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Well, then make sure you tune in every day at 6:30 and 10:30 p.m. to catch The Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns: Park City, Utah, Vail, Colorado, and Reno, Tahoe. I'll be your host, Maddie Evans, and I can't wait to see you there.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these 2 luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. It's Good Morning Vail on TV8. I'm your host, Liz. Watching last week, we got to find out that we at TV8 are finally going to get to collaborate with the Covered Bridge magazine. Well, finally today we get to show you our very first segment. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to Covered Bridge on TV8. I'm Kim Fuller, the co-founder of Jaunt Media Collective and editor-in-chief of Covered Bridge magazine.
I'm Bobby LaRue, the other half of Jaunt Media Collective and the director of partnerships over at Covered Bridge magazine. And today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Sandy Ferguson Fuller, who did an amazing feature called Happy Trails for our upcoming issue. And like many of us, she's had the pleasure and joy of venturing to Piney River Ranch. And Sandy, where did this kind of come from, the impetus of writing about Piney River Ranch and your experience with it?
Well, the theme of your forthcoming Covered Bridge is journey. And there hasn't been a greater journey than my experiences really in the Vail Valley, starting from the very first year of Vail, all the way to now. And had children and needed to have a place where I could go put them in a tent and we could go fishing and go hiking and feel safe and not encounter a lot of people. And at that point in time, which was about the early 1990s, I would say, the three of us with our dog would go up to Piney Lake every summer. It was a tradition, and we would camp a couple of years. One year it was in a blizzard and we were the only people there. But I've always felt very, very attached to the area, to Piney, and my current dog is named Piney after the lake. I was very fortunate to camp with you when you were growing up. Yeah. And I was also very fortunate a couple of years ago to attend your wedding there. So it's been, throughout the years, a very special place.
So the cat's out of the bag. This is my mother-in-law and her mom.
Yep.
Right.
It's been really fun to work with my mom in magazines. So you have a long history of publishing. We did a segment with you. You do a lot of book reviews for the magazines and a lot of long-form articles like this one, Happy Trails, as well as illustration. Right. So it's been a joy. And I think this piece, when we start to work on our magazines, we put out a theme and our writers come forward with some ideas, and this was sort of like screaming from the rooftops for you. You're like, I just feel this in my bones. Right. But what came out of the piece wasn't just a personal narrative or a first-person essay. It was a woven narrative of history and, the history of your history there, the history of people visiting the lake for the first time, and, really through the years, starting in the 1800s, and I'd love to read an excerpt from this feature, so I'll dive right in. So September, it's dawn, early 1800s. A mist blankets the alpine lake as warm water meets chilly air. Rainbow trout rise to paint surface ripples. From the willows, a bull moose slowly ventures out for breakfast, heavy head dipping low, then lifting, dripping with a mouthful of aquatic plants. An eagle spreads its shadow high across the landscape as the sun rises behind the Gore Range. Perhaps a solitary ute lingers, but otherwise no human is present to observe the beauty. Imagining Piney Lake in the early 1800s, what did you learn about that area and the lake from your research?
Well, when I started to write the article, and one thing that's interesting about writing for magazines is that you're supposed to have a limited word count.
Yes.
And I was not too far into the idea for the article until I realized this was much more of a story than I had ever imagined, just going way back. Ironically, there's very little written history about Piney Lake itself. Piney River Ranch is starting to collect more photographs, tidbits of information everywhere they can, but it was scraping the barrel to find anything. So my idea was to go chronologically, to go back as far as I could. Mount Powell is the prominent mountain behind the lake and in the Gore Range. And John Wesley Powell was the famous explorer who discovered the Grand Canyon, well, didn't discover, but pretty much discovered the Grand Canyon, and on his way climbed in the Gore Range at Long's Peak, Pikes Peak, and so they ultimately named the mountain after him. So that was in the 1800s, and I started there. And then fast forward, just took each kind of major segment of history only gave it a paragraph. But when the homesteaders came and the wildlife and how they had to change, and the Native Americans, and then we had the railroads were there, and then we had development in Colorado. The Denver Water Board ended up buying the land from private homesteading, and then going from the 1960s when that was done all the way to the present and the current owners of the land, and all of the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride that people have had trying to walk that fine line of recreating the area and also preserving it preserving the land for the wildlife, for the beauty of the land. And very fortunately, the current regime at Piney River Ranch, they're all on the same page. They're on the same page with the Colorado Parks and Wildlife, who we also brought in to talk to. I was able to talk to one of the original wranglers who lives in Denver now. He was fascinating, Bob Woods. And everybody who has a spot in their heart for Piney is actively trying to still maintain that preservation while opening up the area so that other people can enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think those of you who have not read the article yet, well, I have, the thread that you tied through to that, to anyone, it kind of when it passed hands throughout history, everyone seemed to understand the value of preserving this special place. I would have never had the opportunity to go there because I didn't show up to Colorado until 13 years ago, and I can't say how special it is just driving up to the lake. It's not rapid. You can't get there quickly.
No, you can't.
There's no way to get there fast. There are many people there, but they take the time to journey up to Piney River Ranch.
Right.
And once you're up there, you've nailed it from the 90s when you were bringing your kids there. There's a feeling. There's something special about the area. And to read that in your article is really cool. So I'm excited for people to actually get to see this article when it comes out in our summer issue.
I'm really excited for it, and I wanted to really thank, just publicly, the people who helped me with this article. Matt McKenna, who he's in New York, but he and his wife have a place in Wolcott, and they're longtime visitors to the valley, and he's really the main owner, along with some of his business colleagues, and then Monique, who is the general manager, who also plans all the weddings, but she's got a plate full. But she has been wonderful in just providing information and again, more color about the current direction that they're trying to establish at Piney. And then Devin Duvall was amazing with Colorado Parks and Wildlife. I mean, I learned so much from him about how they're working with the Forest Service and with Piney River Ranch. And it's just a combined effort to make sure that the land is preserved. And then I can't not mention my cowboy in Denver. Monique put us together on the phone, and he was just full of stories and is very excited to see the article. There's the picture of him I think that's going to appear in the article.
We do also have an illustration from you in the back of the magazine. So our parting shot is that last look, that last feeling that is a nod to the theme, and you had suggested something to do, possibly with Happy Trails, and it really did make sense to walk away from, the ranch or the lake and say, kind of see you next time, Happy Trails. And that was Bob. There's a quote from him.
Yes, I said, we'd love to have your words at the end of the magazine. So he said, I don't know, but he came up with them. And apparently I'd never seen this. I don't know why. There's a sign as you leave Piney River Ranch now, and it says Happy Trails. That's the sign that I used in the illustration, and perfect for a journey. So.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Mom, for bringing me and my brother Scott up to Piney for so many years in the 90s, when it actually was still kind of crowded at times then, and now it continues to attract a lot of people because it's absolutely gorgeous. But I think echoing your sentiment to continue to preserve and respect the rules and boundaries of camping and just general use up there, and to support the business that is the ranch and enjoy your time visiting. So thank you for writing the feature. It's a wonderful addition to our journey issue of Covered Bridge, And we thank you for joining us, for watching Covered Bridge on TV8. We'll see you next time. Happy trails.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, now is the time to refresh your floors. I'm Mandy Benedict. I'd love to invite you into our showroom to explore our 12,000 square foot showroom where you can view all different floors installed, see what it looks like in a larger space. One of our greatest growing products is waterproof wood flooring, which for our environment with kids and dogs and ski boot and our mountain lifestyle, this is a great flooring option. I brought one of the planks with me today. They're nice, long, wide planks. They're embossed on grain, so they look beautiful, but they perform really well in our mountain lifestyle. We have all employee installers. They've been working for over a decade with us, and we have a lifetime installation warranty. So not only do we make sure that the client gets what they want, we know what this climate needs. We have beautiful reclaimed floors, herringbone, really anything that you're looking for to update your home or your business. We have it at Rugs Benedict. We provide free estimates. So come in and visit us in the store. We'd love to see you.
Good morning, Vail.
With more TVA Vail, I want to get back into that interview with CC Zach and Marka Moser. Let's go take a look at the rest of that interview.
This episode is a spotlight on the Vail Trailblazer Marka Moser. So Marka, as we were discussing before, the key to your success of impact in the Valley and receiving this award really started with your passions. We talked about the environment, we talked a little bit about education, but I'd like our viewers to learn more about some of the accomplishments that you had around education. I know the ABC School and some other nonprofit focus. So please tell our viewers about some of those things that you're so passionate about around education.
Well, when I first moved here, I didn't have young children. I had older children that were in school, but I had two boys. And so there was a preschool that started at Meadow Mountain. It was in the lodge at Meadow Mountain, but that was going to be torn down. So we needed to find another school location. We went to the town of Vail, and they were able to supply a space, and I think we rented it for $1 a year or something of that nature.
And what year was this again?
That would have probably been in 1970, probably 74, 75, something like that.
So
I'm not sure exactly.
Ago, right.
And we had a wonderful director whose husband was a contractor, but we were able to buy a modular bank building that was not being used any longer, and we were able to move it by trailer onto the site, which had a downstairs, you know, so they'd put a basement into it, so that would be adequate enough for probably about 40 children. And so we got that going, and it was interesting because one other woman who was on the board with me at the time, she and I signed the mortgage, but we forgot about it until about 20 years later when it was paid off. And both of us were appalled that we had, I'm not sure how much it was, but we had signed a mortgage for this preschool. But anyway.
Well, and may I note, you said another woman too, so let's hear it for women spearheading this type of initiative.
Well,
I know you didn't want to be on the mortgage, but it's nice to see that the banks allowed it back then.
Well, it was interesting that they did, and I think both of us were moms that had young children that needed preschool.
Yeah.
And so that's why we got involved. And then Buddy Warner League was in existence when I moved up here, and so my daughters immediately were involved in that, and that was dear to my heart because I had met Buddy Warner when he was working on Ski Broadmoor in Colorado Springs, and I was a lifeguard at the hotel, and we were in the employees' cafeteria together, and that's where I first met him. So I knew the whole story about him and how he had been killed in an avalanche, and his whole demeanor was sportsmanship, and so
versus performance or winning.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Winning was sort of secondary to being a good sport, and
Right.
so the program is still alive today, and it's exciting because both of my grandchildren, who are now 11 and 13, and are in the program, and my son is a volunteer coach.
Oh, that warms my heart.
And I was a volunteer coach as well as running the program a couple of different times. So those are things that I feel very strongly about. We did also, in the late 80s, it came to my attention, and I was aware of it myself, but there was a lot of drugs coming into the valley other than alcohol and probably pot at that time. But so I did organize a program with Charlie Wick, who was with the town of Vail, and the town of Vail was a big sponsor for that. And we were quite successful in bringing together all the different entities in the valley that would be focusing on children and the message that was being given to them. And so I feel very strongly about that, and a lot of it is still in place today in the schools. So
I am so grateful that you've done that, and what comes to mind, and actually you brought it up when we were preparing for the interview, was the ads that were on TV. There was a frying pan, and someone cracked an egg and put it on the frying pan, and it says, you know, this is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. And you had mentioned that that was the type of message you were trying to get through to the children at that time, and I'm just so grateful that you did that, and that it's continuing to be brought up and you know, educating today's children.
There's still a lot of problems in that direction, but I think that the schools still carry on. Many of them Red Ribbon Week and bring attention to it, but we had, you know, all of the law enforcement, the churches and businesses and school administration, school teachers, students. We had all the students involved in a huge program, and many of those students that were in it when I was sort of directing it are still, I consider them still good friends.
Oh, that's delightful.
Which is really nice as they've grown into adulthood.
Now, when you mentioned all of those different groups of stakeholders that needed to be involved to make this happen, and it seems like you also did this with every other passion project that you have, is that you were the catalyst in all of this and a pioneer, which, you know, my understanding led to you receiving the Vail Trailblazer Award. So what are some things that you do that our viewers should know about as it relates to trailblazing new things? Because we need more people, we need more women like you in this world, and I would love for you to share with our viewers what are some of the things that you do or that you would hope that you see people taking forward and trailblazing in Vail right now?
Well, I think there's still a lot to do, and there will always be a lot to do. But I think if you are new to the community and you know what your own passions are, there just are so many outlets for people to become involved. If you like education, there's the Literacy Project. If you like volunteering, I mean, we had the rummage sale, which was a huge, brought all the communities together because the people that were volunteering came and they met people, and it was people from out of town, but it was held in Minturn. And that brought loads of people, I think, into a volunteer realm that might not have ever done a whole lot of volunteering. And they were able to give their money. The money we raised went back to the nonprofit that person was working for.
Oh,
so
lovely.
it was really,
Yeah.
it sort of comes full circle in that way. So it helped a lot of local, it helped probably about 40 or 50 nonprofit organizations. And, but there's a lot of need, and I think newcomers to the Valley, it's really a good way to become involved and meet people quickly.
Yeah.
Because the first summer I moved here in July 1st, and they were working on this rummage sale probably about 3 weeks later, and it was very small at that point. It was, one little tiny room in a schoolhouse, and that, people were donating their goods, and then everybody came to buy. But it became a really $1 million project in the later days of that.
Well, you're making me think of right now is that people are always looking for ways to volunteer or to give back to the community, and I've noticed that people really get into the arts and the dance, and there's a wide variety of passions that people have in that arena. But what I love about your story is it's about humanity. The passions that you have chosen and that you have trailblazed and pioneered through this valley have really been about advancing the humanitarian efforts of the valley, and that's what I just now talking to you. That is extraordinary, and I really hope viewers see that opportunity. I mean, one of the things that I've learned in these interviews is that our minority population is growing, and in a very short period of time will be at the same level, 50-50 level, and those are the people that are servicing our county. And we really need to think about how do we help them be part of the community. They are part of the community, but how do we make it easier for them? So I thank you so much for sharing all of this, because it's giving me inspiration about where I would like to spend my time. And as we close out this episode, there is one wonderful happy fact that I just read about you, is that you are a very prominent hockey player. So, and just briefly tell us about that part of your life.
Well, I did do a lot of things that I realized that if I had not moved here, I probably never would have been a part of. But my two sons were playing hockey, and I know how much they enjoyed it. And so we started out really on the pond at the golf course that Ben Kruger was making into, he was plowing it and keeping it free of snow so that we could. Yeah. And so there was just a bunch of women that got hockey sticks and on our figure skates, but then we morphed into a whole hockey program for women.
That's extraordinary. And how many years did you play?
Probably off and on for almost 20 years, yeah, because I was 65 when I finally decided that I didn't want to get shoved into the boards and break a hip or something. So.
Well, just another example of you trailblazing the way as a female hockey player. And with that, I just, from Good Day Vail to you, I just want to thank you so much for your time and your wisdom and your words.
Good morning, Vail.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you like to get out there and enjoy the trails on your bike, well, it's really important that you keep your head nice and safe. And so right now, I've got the Giro Manifest Spherical in front of me. Now, this helmet has some fancy new technology. The spherical part is progressive layering with dual density liners to address high and low impact speed. So you can see as I wiggle the top of the helmet, it is fully moving. Now, this helmet also comes equipped with MIPS, which stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System, which keeps your brain just extra safe when you're out there riding. And if you do happen to have one of those accidents, well, then it will help you stay nice and safe. This helmet has a lot of really nice features. It has the wind tunnel ventilation on it, making it so that you stay cool when you're out there enjoying your nice ride. So I'm going to flip this helmet right around to the front so you can see all of those nice wind tunnel vents. Now, another great feature of this helmet is it has a movable visor. That way you can protect yourself from the sun as needed in any direction. Now, another great feature of this helmet is if you're right in between sizes, don't worry, it has an adjustable fit in the back, making it nice and convenient for you to get this helmet on your head to fit any shape. Now, you can check out this helmet at Sun and Ski Sports. Now, they have so many convenient locations, or you can shop online at their website at sunandski.com. That way you can keep yourself nice and safe out there on the trails. We want to thank them so much for bringing you this product of the week. We've got more after this.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Time to rise and shine? There's no better way to start your day off than with the Good Morning Vail crew. You asked for more and TV8 delivered. Good Morning Vail is here for you with your local news, sports, weather, and community events every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. No matter the season, we give you a reason to watch, so grab your coffee and join the fun. Live stream us at tv8vail.com or on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. And remember, there's more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
Season 2 of MTV's Help, I'm in a Secret Relationship just kicked off, and if you have not seen the TV series yet, well then I highly recommend you watch it. And I'm here with the incredible hosts. I've got Travis and Ronnie. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So I got to preview just a little bit of it, and what a job that you guys have. All of the drama, all of the suspense, and then just having so many emotions from so many other people. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I mean, this is a show about relationships and at its core about communication or lack thereof. Travis and I travel around the country helping people who feel like they've been hidden by their loved ones, whether that's not being posted on social media or not meeting family, not meeting friends, and just not meshing worlds together. And we do some digging into their personal lives and hopefully sit down and have an honest and open conversation to get these people on the same page and to determine what they want to do with their relationships. So it's sometimes it's a lot of tears, it's a lot of, emotions, but it's I think necessary.
I think it's necessary too, and I think that there are some great lessons that people can learn from watching the show. So what do you think the biggest one that people will take away is?
I think the biggest lesson that people can take away is don't ignore the things that pop up when you first meet someone, right? Like if there are things that are on your mind, if there are questions or reservations that you have, talk about those things, build a solid foundation that's going to set your relationship up for success rather than sweeping things under the rug and delaying, the onset of these issues that are inevitably going to come up if you end up with that person for long enough.
Well, and you guys are on season 2, so let's talk about the most challenging moment that you guys have had this far.
Ooh, okay, maybe not so much challenging, but very interesting would be a woman reached out to us who is being hidden by her son. So it was challenging in the fact that we had to really handle that situation delicately, because when you deal with familial dynamics as opposed to romantic, sometimes that could be even more important because that's blood. So we wanted to come in and handle it with a delicate lens. And hopefully we did that and got her the answers that she needed. But yeah, it was challenging to be able to balance different types of relationships, not just the romantic, but the platonic, the familial, which is what we go into in season 2.
Which I think is so crazy. What is it like to be so invested into these people's personal lives, seeing them at their best, seeing them at their worst, and kind of their most vulnerable state?
I mean, I think that's what gives this show so much heart, right? And it allows Ronnie and I to truly travel around the country and help people who are in need of answers. And a lot of times these are people who haven't been able to set boundaries, who haven't necessarily, developed the skills to have these tough conversations. And we're just getting them either closure or a new kind of door for them to walk through and be successful in their relationship. And yeah, I mean, we're still filming right now. If anyone is out there is watching this who needs help, you can go to mtv.com. You can hit up Ronnie and I. We're literally getting on a plane tomorrow to go help another couple too. So let us know.
And as you guys have been traveling across the country, where has been your favorite place that you've been to so far?
Ooh, great question.
I'm gonna say I really enjoyed New Orleans. It's just a great, great city.
Ooh, New Orleans was a good one. We filmed an episode in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. That was awesome.
You guys are talking about all these warm places. We're gonna have to get you out here to the cold soon.
We go to Minneapolis tomorrow, so it'll be like negative 19 degrees.
Yeah, don't worry. We've been there.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for taking the time, chatting with me, giving me all this great information, and thank you for helping people understand their boundaries and communication.
Well, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And now, if people are interested in seeing the show, where can they find it?
Tuesday nights, 9 p.m., MTV.
Thank you guys again for being here. Make sure that you check out MTV every Tuesday night. That way you can see a new episode, whether it's the drama or whether people come together in the end and really come up with a resolution for their communication issues. This is a great show because there are some great lessons. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Here at Sun & Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun & Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Vail Skin and Lashes, located in the heart of Avon, offers a full array of aesthetic and medical treatments and services. We feature only the highest quality products in an upscale medical-grade skincare boutique. Experience this luxurious, welcoming, and inviting environment. We are dedicated to providing expert personalized care, artistry, wellness, beauty. That's Vail Skin and Lashes Medical Spa.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome to TV8's newest segment. It's called Adventures in Coaching, and it's here to help you grow personally and professionally. And we've got Kim Smith, the expert, joining us. Kim, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk to you about all of this.
I'm excited to have you here only because I think powerful women are my most favorite thing, and you are definitely a force to be reckoned with here in our community, so I'm very excited to have you.
Thank you.
Now, let's just dive right into it because we've got a lot of things that we're going to cover over the expansion of some time here on the couch. And so my first question is, what is coaching?
That is a great question, Maddie. And, you know, a lot of people, I think, are confused a little bit about that. And I just want to clarify that what it's not therapy, it's not advice, and it's not sports coaching, although we do take a lot of things from sports coaching. In other words, really trying to push you beyond maybe your limits and to set goals and to hold you accountable to, you know, what you decide is important to you.
Which I think a lot of people in certain areas start to struggle with. And so what is your story and how did you get into coaching?
Yeah, that's a great question also. You know, for me, it really came naturally. I was always, even as a young person, really trying to help people and interested in helping, you know, them improve their lives. And I had a long career in marketing and sales, and I worked in on the agency side of things and in the snow sports industry and then in tourism. And all the while I had this like small voice in my head that kept saying, you know, you really want to help people more. How do you get out there and do that? And you know, while I was loving my career and I had climbed the ladder, so to speak, and had a lot of accomplishments, there were things that just started to, you know, resonate with me outside of those careers, and really getting into helping people was one of those things that just kept bubbling up and saying, you know, why don't you go ahead and take a leap of faith and do this? And so I finally decided to leave my career and get certified in coaching. And I had a couple of iterations as I went through all of that, and I'm now doing that full time, and I'm absolutely loving it. And it's really where I get, you know, my joy and my purpose is around helping others to really reach their potential.
Which is so cool because you hear of these people that are empaths and they spend their time filling other people's cup in order to fill their own cup, and it sounds like you get the pleasure of doing that in your career. And because you spent so much time in this corporate world, you also have this kind of mindset of how you can help people grow professionally.
Exactly. And yes, it does fill my cup helping others and seeing their process and witnessing change and helping to empower people and enable people to do that is just huge. And I really focus on people working on their careers and with leaders within businesses and teams within businesses themselves, and working with trying to really identify, you know, what that person's purpose is or a team purpose, and finding out the ways to get there, as well as removing roadblocks that might be getting in the way of their success.
I think it's so important that people take the time to realize that they need that little bit of extra motivation, and this coaching is something that can help them successfully push themselves through that almost like writer's block that we come across in our lives and in our careers. And so you've been doing this for quite some time. What are some of the challenges that you've heard clients complain about?
And that's, yeah, I love what you said, that analogy. You know, people come to me because they are maybe feeling stuck in what they want to do. Maybe they've had an idea germinating in their head for a long time. They just don't know how to get it from here to, you know, there and then move it forward. And I think that's pretty normal. A lot of us have ideas and think like, oh, I want to do this. I want to work on my career. I maybe want to go into an entrepreneurial business. How do I get there? And rather than just continually, you know, ruminating about it, a coach will really help you pull that out, figure out what's important, how do we take those next steps, and what do those look like, and then how can you hold yourself accountable? And a coach will help hold you accountable to those goals that you've set up.
Which I think is something that so many people lack, the discipline of taking the things from their brain, putting them on paper, and then executing them. I know that I really struggle with that in certain areas of my life, and so just to have that little bit of extra motivation helps so much. Now, as people are starting to kind of get a coach and work through these processes, what are some of the things that they can expect from the coach?
So first of all, I really, you know, I'll do an intake, so to speak, to, you know, or discovery, whatever we want to call it, but looking at, you know, what is going on and where do you think you want to go? And oftentimes what happens through the process is we find out that what you think you might want to do isn't really aligned with your purpose and what you know, what will really make you successful. So I'll usually take a step back at that point and look at, you know, what is that person's purpose? Have they ever decided what that is, or have they ever clarified that for themselves? Because that can be your foundation. And we'll go into purpose a little bit more in another segment, but that's really, I like to start there and kind of dig around. And, you know, I was saying that, you know, it's not so much about looking at your past, but oftentimes there are things in our past that are holding us back from success. Maybe, you know, we don't really know why they're there, or they're a limiting belief. You might have heard that term, limiting beliefs, or little gremlins that are saying, oh, I'm not good enough, or I've got self-doubt around this.
Those mean voices in your head that sometimes you got to work towards shutting off.
Yeah, and so those come up inevitably with everybody I work with. And so we do take a look at that and try to, you know, create the courage to walk through a lot of those fears, or, you know, real, or maybe they're made up fears, maybe something really did happen in the past that we need to look at. But whatever it is, that's always been a part of, or that will be a part of the conversation.
Now, as people are starting to get interested in getting a coach, what's the time frame like when you guys start working together to when you can kind of execute this plan to move forward?
I like to say that about a 9-week session, or, you know, group of sessions is where you really start to see progress. So if somebody says, oh, I'm going to go to a coach 1 or 2 times, oh, it didn't work, I'm moving on. It's like you've got to give it some time, because more and more things will be revealed as you're working through things. It's not just a one and done. That being said, I don't look at coaching as, you know, like sometimes therapists, you know, work with somebody for years and years. This is more short term. We want to try to get those results and move you forward quickly.
And seeing a coach is like dating someone. You can't just go on 2 dates and be like, this isn't for me. You have to spend some time to get to know them, because you do have to set those boundaries and really learn each other and how you guys work well with each other. It's like forming a whole new relationship.
It really is. It really is. And it's amazing, you know, like the first time people tend to really not want to talk too much, or they don't know what to talk about. But that's my job, to start really pulling that out of the person, make them feel comfortable and figure out, you know, where they really want to go and why.
Now, as you are bringing in new clients, who is it that you work with?
So I call myself a career and business success coach. So I work with people that are working on their careers, looking to make change. Maybe there's a transition that they want to go to another business and they don't know what that industry is, or they want to grow within their own organization. And I also work with businesses that are, you know, maybe they have leaders inside the organization that, you know, they would like to have coached. As well as teams, to develop synergy amongst that team, to be able to move that team forward based on their purpose and their, you know, their goals and desires. So,
which I think is so cool. It's like having one of those group projects in school where maybe someone feels like they have to pull a majority of the weight. To have someone like you come in and then delegate a little bit more clearly and bring that team together to work better together so that everything just can start to roll forward is really cool. Now, as you're kind of coaching these teams, do you feel like you ever have any challenges with a larger group of people?
Oh, absolutely, because there's always like, one or two people that are like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. And, they've got their body language, arms crossed, and they're not sure that, why they're there. And, I can, when I'm working with groups or teams, I will coach people individually, with the whole team. And sometimes I'll just have to pull them aside and say, hey, what's going on for you? And, I really try to meet people where they are at and figure out what's going on for them. Because ideally with a team, you want to get everybody on the same page. But yeah, there's people that we're humans, right? We're going to bring our stuff, everything that we have from our whole life into work, into our business. So, yeah.
I mean, I think what you do is so incredible, and I also think that it's always those people that you see that are so closed off that eventually come around, and they're the ones who benefit the most because you totally change their perspectives on from where they started to where they are in your sessions.
Right. And I think that's a really good point there, because coaching, a lot of it is about reframing a situation. And instead of being like, oh, poor me, this has happened, or I'm not happy with this or whatever, looking at it from different points of view can help you look at the opportunity versus the problem.
Which I think that perspective shift is probably one of the largest benefits from getting a coach. And so now, as we're talking about benefits of coaching, what are some of the other ones that people can expect from kind of going through this tribulation with you?
I would definitely say, determining what your purpose is, your why, your reason for being. Finding out like what it is that you want to do, and how can you bring that purpose into your workplace or into your life, and it's really a matter of kind of going through some of those things, but also getting results. I mean, ultimately coaching is about getting results and taking action, moving you forward and holding you accountable. So I can't, everybody's journey is different. That's why I call it Adventures in Coaching. It's an adventure. There's never a straight line from like what you think is in here to your final goal. You're always going to be zigzagging and finding different ways. And I think some people think that it's like, oh, one straight shot, but it's important to know that, it does take some time, and to give yourself permission to, explore a little bit over here if you think that that's interesting, or maybe this didn't work out exactly as you thought. So what is it, and how do we get back on track?
I think these are all such great benefits that people could really use in their day-to-day life, but also in their personal and professional development. Now, we're going to do a few of these sessions, so what other things can we expect from Adventures in Coaching?
So coming up next is we're going to be talking about purpose and mission and why that's so important. I'll be talking about leadership skills, women in business and the challenges that women have in business. Some things around communication, emotional intelligence, and just, figuring out like how to set goals and how do you really hold yourself accountable to those goals. So those are just a few of the things we'll be talking about.
Kim, I'm so excited to continue to spend time with you so I can keep learning from you just from sitting here. I think what you do is so incredible. And like I said earlier, I think you are a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you. It's fantastic to be here. I really appreciate it.
Make sure that you continue to stay tuned, as we are going to continue our adventures in coaching, only because we're here to help you with your personal and your professional development. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Join host Mitch English and Reese Pascal for Daily Flash, a live, upbeat, and fun take on today's news, entertainment, and social media trends. Our host will keep you informed, entertained, and ready to jumpstart your day. Tune in to Daily Flash.
Good morning, Vail.
Thank you to all of our wonderful guests that were right here on your Good Morning Vail Monday edition of TV8. It's a really great week that we have in front of us. I'll be again here tomorrow to host the show, and we're going to have some wonderful guests as well. And don't forget, it's the week right before the GoPro Mountain Games, everybody. You got to get yourselves all ready for so many great things. Outdoor sports, dog adoptions, the most amazing music. It's going to be one heck of a weekend, everybody. All kicking off this weekend. Cannot wait. Thanks to the Vail Valley Foundation for bringing us such a magical event. We have music and sports and dogs and people and just so much excitement. Cannot wait to see you guys over at the GoPro Games, but I will see you again tomorrow right here on Good Morning Vail for your Tuesday edition, right here on TV8.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies.